Okay. And here we go for Final Fantasy IV. I got started a little late. I was doing a bunch of stuff. Captain Cecil. Oh, hey Sarah, you're already here. Oh, cool. Very good. I was just tweeting you. So, Captain Cecil, we're about to arrive. Good. Why are we robbing crystals from innocent people? That's our duty. Do we really have to do this? Give us the crystal of water. What have we done? The crystal or your life. Never! The wizard says, wah! Arg. It's like we're in River City Ransom. And your hero of this game just murdered a bunch of people. And I want all the crystals. So that was a flashback. And now here, back in real time, we got Cecil. And the crew says that they take pride in being members of the Red Wings. And they don't want to loot. It's interesting, given the context of how we talk about looting versus, other things these days, that they say the word looting there. And so the crew's kind of rebelling against Cecil. And so Cecil's so far going with the whole, hey, I'm just following orders thing. Uh-oh, my phone's ringing. Is that a snow day? Can you hear that vibrating across the room? It's so loud. Yeah, so at the beginning of the game here, Cecil can just, annihilate stuff. It's pretty funny. And he uses, abilities that he does not have in the game. Like, he does not have that lit bulb, as far as I know. Yeah, my phone rang in class. I think it was yesterday. Well, obviously it was either Monday or Tuesday, but it was sitting on the desk, and it vibrated so loudly. It was really funny. So we're gonna land in Baron here at the beginning of the game. Yeah, they send it out. I think I just got an email too. It's some kind of service that sends it out. This is the main castle that you go through. And there's just chests hanging around, you know, in random places. And there's the king. Oh, Cecil has a rebellious air. Truly? Calling in. And then here's the beginnings of Cecil's face turn. Yeah, why would we take their crystals or, you know, their oil or whatever? And just like that, you know, he's going to remove him from command. How dare you ask one question, sir? And here comes Cain, who's annoying. Cain's kind of got a cool story arc, but as a character, I don't find Lancers that useful, particularly in this game, because it seems so cool when he jumps, but like that's such a cool thing, but I don't find it to be that useful. Actually, particularly the last time I went through this game, which was about a year and a half ago, I used Cain as a buffer mostly. And then attack, you know, as warranted. Walk in all directions using the control pad. No, I thought I was going to use L and R for that. Alright, so let's go back and talk to Cain. What's wrong? Sorry, Cain. Oh, stop that. I mastered the dark sword, but it was to defend, not to rob. Oh, didn't mean to do that. I have faith in His Majesty. Okay. I feel something strange about the king lately. Yeah, they're having a debate over here. On one end, we got a debate going. Can you go back in? No. King will not see you until you've completed your mission. Okay. Wait, what? I wasn't sleeping. Okay, whatever, dude. Take the treasure in this room. Got a cure. Got a tent. And, oh, money. Yeah, I like when games do that too. When they're, kind of tell you that they're you're in a game. Or even when we were streaming Cosmic Star Heroine the other night, the first couple battles in there are just straight up tutorial, and here comes your Rosa. Who is your lady friend? And one of the things that was cool when this game came out, I think I talked about this on the podcast, was that Cecil and Rosa are very clearly older. They're not, they're probably in their, 20s, late 20s. And that's kind of neat. That they're like an established couple. They're not, gonna, like in so many Final Fantasy games where, your protagonist, or two characters in your thing, like in Final Fantasy IX with Zidane and there's Sid with Zidane and Princess Dagger. Or even, spoiler alert, and Cloud, sort of, in Final Fantasy VII. Where you kind of, fall in love as the game goes on. And here, they're already a couple. Everybody's realizing that the military-industrial complex that they work for may not be up to good. Animation made me feel bad. Up here. Here we go. I have changed the sheets. Leaving early tomorrow, sir. Good night. No, this is just in the as a question in the chat about whether this is just a bunch of maze rooms. No, this is just in the castle. You have to, you're just kind of getting to know the castle here. We'll get to cool battles in a second. The crystal. Do we really have to snatch it from those peace-loving people? Well, they had all that oil, so regime changed them. Never again, even if ordered. We should run Cecil for political office. And, you know, these two have a, you know, a very established, you know, relationship that they trust each other, and she can, and, you know, he can confide in her, you know, that they probably just committed, you know, a couple of war crimes. Yeah. And I just remember, you know, as a adolescent, just being like, "Oh wow, you know, I really like this relationship." And Kane's coming, and you'll see later, Kane's got a thing for Rosa too, because of course. One thing I am pretty critical of this game, you know, as an adult, is that Cecil very much treats Rosa in a very kind of traditionally feminine way. That, you know, he's just kind of like, no, get out of the way, go back, you know, kind of stuff. It also reminds me of, we were just talking in a class about Stoker's Dracula and how Mina Harker is treated, particularly later in the novel. It's kind of, sort of, maybe similar. I don't know if he's sexist, but he's just kind of, I think the game, you know, games back then, you know, I don't think we're really that progressive in regards to stuff like that. She's a pretty good character, for sure. Especially later on in the game. And now you have your typical Final Fantasy, you know, kind of film scroll that, you know, a lot of the games had at some point early on. The first time I saw one of these in the first Final Fantasy game, when you, after you save Princess Sarah and then you get the bridge built and you go over it, it was just like, whoa, this is really cool. Yeah, why are there more monsters? Why indeed? Why is there a moon? We're going to find out later in the game why there's a moon. Because you will be traveling to the moon. Okay, so now we're in the overworld. And, let's go into town. And the Misty Cave is beyond the Cave of Northwest. Wait, what? Misty Valley is beyond the Cave of Northwest. I guess they mean the cave in the Northwest. Okay, sure. Alright, I forget. Oh, it's locked. What kind of weaponry do we have so far? Actually, it should be good enough. Wow, the Dark Knight. A bit scary, but cool. Yeah, so there's a couple of scenes like this where, women kind of dance for you that are, a little innuendo-laced. Yes, the original Dark Knight was, well, actually, I guess, that Miller book existed already, but... things like this. There's actually an invisible, and I think they removed it in later versions of the first Final Fantasy game, but there's an invisible person in the castle grounds. Alright, kid, move it. That you can talk to. I don't know if it's a game glitch or whatever. Locked. That's it. Yes. I'd prefer there was a movie made about Cecil and Rosa than there was another, crappy, edgy Batman that does a bunch of, I don't know, broody nonsense. Alright, let's go to the cave. So, northwest. What's up here? Oh, here we go. We got a battle. Alright, so we got an eye and we got two eagles. So Cain... And then Cecil's, knight. So there he goes. Cain jumps, and he's up there for a little while. Oh, well, pretty short this time. And since there's only characters. So, there we go. Easy type version, for sure. Alright, so we're in the cave. So the enemies are a bit easier than in other versions. And you got your usual imps, so we'll jump, I guess. I was actually, when this game came out, I rented it, and I was able to beat it over a couple of rentals. I just got into this really good zone, and just burned right through it. Oh, those... something you can't do in games these days, because people are so much more, enlightened about this, is all that blinking lights there. Because of, people get, like, epileptic attacks and stuff like that. Although games did have, even in the NES era, they did have warnings about things like that. Because there was a kid in my school that, like, straight up could not play video games back then. When I was in, like 3rd, 4th grade, something like that. Yeah, so we have some larvas, so let's just attack. Yeah, the imps are, in general, pretty creepy, I gotta say. Alright, just hold on a second. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. the cancellation was for, so at least till noon. I don't know, it's still snowing here in Mount Holly. Oh, I gotta go get that. Oh no, wait, I think I can go around to get that chest. So now you got more imps, and yeah, they are, comment in the chat that they're pretty creepy. Yes, they are. And you got sword rats. Here. Cool thing about this game that was a pretty new thing at the time was battles are in active time, which is nowadays. It was like a really neat thing. You kind of had to get used to it because you're used to, games like, Final Fantasy, the first Final Fantasy, games like Dragon Warrior, where you could kind of sit there and figure out, all right, well, what am I going to do with this next turn? And in this game, as you saw there in that battle, enemies will start going at you. And especially if you're not, if you just kind of stand here, like, watch. If I go, oh, what do I do? And now they're not going to attack, of course. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see, they'll just attack you. And that would, when I first played this game, it was kind of nerve-wracking. It was also kind of thrilling, too. It was kind of cool. And then Final Fantasy V with which tells you when when your characters are up, like games have now. Is that, yeah, we're already leveling up. My mic's cutting out? Oh, I don't know. How's it now? Let me push it forward a little bit. How's it sound now? Okay. Yeah, I guess I was... So I'm moving. The other way, I gotta go this way? Yeah, okay. It was kind of here. The person that, and I mentioned, because I can't stop kind of like, you know, like staring at me. Okay, whatever. Oh, that was quick. I wish we had stuff that could affect everybody. These battles are getting tedious. One thing that this game did change. Return now and harm you. Show up. I still do, yes. Wish to go on. It still picks them. So say there were 3 enemies and one of them dies. You don't just like swing at nothing like you did in the first Final Fantasy game, which was incredibly frustrating, to say the least. And now, if I remember correctly, we can't hit it while it's missed. Alright, so let's heal. Yeah, you're gonna miss, right. So let's heal again. Heal out. Heal again. Say there were a couple of these enemies. One of them, you'll redirect to another one in the first, and that kind of missed. Yes. There's a bunch of bosses where you have to wait and fight them, or you won't affect them, or they'll just like obliterate you. Where we're like, woo, we won. Can't gain level. Good. Oh, another fight. Oh, no, we're out. Okay. So now we go to the village. And we're in the village of Mist, where we are gonna pick up another team member. And your package opened and it had a bunch of monsters in it that are about to incinerate some stuff. Who is that? That is Rydia, who you just watched her mother die. Yeah, she's a summoner. I'll roll with that logic that if your dragon dies, you die. Well, and Cecil's face turn is my mic is still cutting out. Oh. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing differently. And Cecil's face. Cutting out. I was just looking at the feed. Shoot. Alright, yeah, let me try to unplug it. And then plug it back. Alright, how does that sound? Okay. I won't let you do it alone. So Kane goes from, gotta kill this girl too. Oh, okay, let's not kill this girl, Cecil. Ew. Uh-oh. She can call Titan. Oh, crap. Ooh. Jeez. Kane! Dun, dun. Hazard, there is here. So let's go to the end. Welcome. Oh, take her to the room. Hurry up. Money? No, that's okay. And now we sleep. And now here come these guys. So the king wants to kill all the summoners. So it's a village where everyone's a summoner. Attack! Retreat. There we go. Iridia, as the game goes on, gets super, super powerful. And at the end of the game, she's the person I relied on the most. I basically used, in the last dungeon, before the end boss, I basically used Kane as a buffer for Iridia. Even more than Rosa as a white mage. I kind of used Kane more for that, because Rosa gets some stuff that she can use, too. Healing, and she has a little bit of an attack as well. But I kind of used Kane just as, like, just heal. Iridia, you know, she's running low on MP. You know, give her, some, buffer for that. And, just to make sure she was, ready to go. Now, so tell us another character we're going to run into in a minute here. Anna ran away with another character we're going to run into. And we can buy some stuff. So, let's see. And this game allows you to buy quantities of 10, which is great, because in the first Final Fantasy game, you had to buy one at a time. So you had to buy one thank you, and then 1, thank you, 1, thank you. So if you were doing what the Nintendo Power Guide very thoughtfully told you to do, which is, hey, you're about a third of the way through the game, you should start having 99 heal potions, or cures, or whatever, with you at all times. And, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. And you would have to do that individually. Now, what you could do is what I would do, and use a turbo controller to just hold down A and just A. Them over and over again. With the, I used to use the NES Advantage for that. Yeah, buying them one at a time is very grueling. It was pretty horrible. And in this game now, you can do it 10 at a time, which is good. We have few customers these days because of the monsters. Get some clues. We're gonna run into that strange old man soon. Yeah, I had I had the NES Advantage and the NES Max. I had the NES Max first, but that controller was not the best. She can do all these things. So let's get her cap. Let's get her leather armor. Let's get her an iron ring. The NES Max was a more arcade style looking controller. It actually kind of looks like more of a modern controller kind of, and it had like an analog circle, not super unlike what say like the 3DS has, and it just, I don't know, it just didn't work right. Oh, she already had all this. Oh, well, that's okay. Crud. And I remember the analog, like, little circle thing you could move. I think I broke it pretty quick. And the NES Advantage I used for years. That was my controller. That was kind of my controller of choice for a really long time. And eventually, I busted on the joystick. There was this black ball, and I pulled it off, and I couldn't get it back on. All right, she had... Wait. What does she have? NES. Staff. Yeah, so your mages in this game can also use arrows, but since she's a summoner, or since Radia's is a summoner, you're better off using those. I usually have Rosa use arrows. Yeah, so 464. Yeah, there were so many like third-party controllers. And I had a couple relatives that used to buy stuff like that for me. Actually, there was a wireless controller back in, I want to say, 89 or 90. Somebody in my family got it because they were like, oh wow, a wireless controller. It seems really cool. And it didn't work very well. You know, it wasn't like, today. It just really didn't work. It's one of those things that worked like the first day, and then the next day, Not so much. Northeast. What time is it? 8:55. We'll play for a little while longer. And so Tella's daughter fell in love with someone. We're going to meet them pretty soon here. Maybe not by the end of this stream, but... Man, there were a lot of controllers. Oh, you know what I didn't do in here? Don't I have to go... Isn't this where Rosa is? Yeah. Almost forgot about Rosa. We need the sand ruby to cure her fever, but is in the lair of a monster called Antlion? Antlion. Okay. Why? I'm obsessed. Alright. William, this is a stream of Final Fantasy II on the Super Nintendo. I do the Giraffe podcast. You can find information on giraffeels.net. We did a podcast on Final Fantasy IV, or 2/4, about a year, maybe a little more than a year ago. This is one of my favorite games. We've actually got a new mode. Probably tomorrow. It's a little bit of yesterday, but it'll be out tomorrow on SimCity 2000. Oh, geez, already dead. And other upcoming episodes, Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past, Legacy of the Wizard, which Retronauts was just talking about in their most recent episode about Broderbund games. They talked about one of the problems with Rydia early on is she dies. So now she swoons because... Oh, it was cutting in and out again. I don't know. I think it's my laptop that's hooked up to the capture device. I think it's that. I think something's trying to load on it. But she swoons because, you can't say, she died. Rod. I think she needs the rod to summon stuff. But Retronauts just wrote pretty good. And so, playing in an episode of Legacy of the Wizard for a while. Nah, she have anything. And the magic. We gotta... It's hard to keep her alive, which is really frustrating. There's another, there's these two twin summoners pretty early in the game, too, that have the same problem. And I think is Final Fantasy IV the first game with the Chocobo? It might be 3. So yes, Rydia gained a level. Yeah, so okay, now she's gained some magic. So Ice. Rydia gained another level. She learns Cure. Very good. But we'll have Legacy of the Wizard. No MP, okay. Battle. I've actually got to kind of podcast a little bit for the summer because the that Sega collection that's going to come out in May. I was going to do episodes on Phantasy Star 3 and Shining Force 2 like in the fall, but I think we're going to move those up. We're going to make it like a Sega RPG summer. Because one thing a couple people have said to me is that, you know, the podcast is cool, but it's very Nintendo-centric. So I'm trying to get more Sega stuff. I have a coworker down the hall who's a real big Sega person, who's really excited for that collection. Actually lives right on the corner from me, too. Yeah, so if you can keep Rydia alive, she starts learning stuff real quick. Alright, so now we're in here. And yeah, there's Tella. But I can't wait to replay. I love Phantasy Star 3. Oh, I should have used the 10. We'll go back out. Yeah, so pikes attack you outside of water. Yeah, I'm looking forward to those Sega RPG, that Sega collection. There's a lot of really good stuff. I have the PS3 version that actually Ethan from the Player One podcast actually worked on that. Yeah, she's gonna die again. Yeah. Crap. I should have bought some more life spells. We'll go back out. Ethan from Player One actually worked on the PS3 one, and that's got a lot of really good games. Obviously, the Sonic games are on it, which I'm not a mega fan of Sonic, but you know, other people really like Sonic. Yeah, we'll go back out and then go back in. You know, the Phantasy Star games are on it, but I think the first one isn't. And I know this new collection, Phantasy Star, the first Phantasy Star is not on it either. For, I don't know, you know, whatever reason. Yeah, let's run. So when you run in this game, you lose money, too. Alright, so let's use a tent. I don't think that revives her. We'll go back to the town. Yeah, see, she swooned because you can't die in Nintendo games. So you have to come up with all kinds of elaborate, like we were talking about during the Castlevania 2 stream, that is not a church. No, sir, it is not a church. Why do you think it's a church? It's not a church. It's armor. We need the items, potions, etc. Some weapons. Where is it? Is this it? I think it is. Come on, move, move, move. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So let's buy a bunch of these. because Rudy is going to need them. And if I wasn't, well, you know, if I wasn't streaming this, I would grind for a little while to get some more money, but that's probably fairly boring to watch. Although, who knows? My brother watches a lot of streams, and it's just, you know, some of them, I mean, it just seems like people just kind of hanging out and playing. Oh, I didn't revive her. Whoops. Alright, get out of this battle. Yeah. So the Fancy Star, Shining Force. So when you use the life cell, you're bringing her back to sense. Which is definitely not, you know, bringing her back to life. Another really cool game in that Sega collection that I'd kind of forgotten about until I was playing through the PS3 one last summer was Alien Storm, which is this really cool, like, side-scroller. Kind of, it's I think it was originally an arcade game. So let's not use her magic yet. Until we're in there. Oh, crap. Yeah, so I gotta move around the podcast schedule a little bit. Let's get what's up here before we go to Tella. Oh, yeah, I gotta change things a little bit. It kind of... Yeah, so in this game, too, you can get attacked from behind. And surprised. And actually show it visually, which somewhat kind of throws me off a little bit. Because I'm so used to everybody being on the right. So let's use ice on everybody. And that didn't really help. I'll do a Sonic episode at some point, too. Maybe. I'm just not really that big into Sonic. Every couple of years, I pick it up and try to play it, and I don't know. It's just not really my thing. I get it more than I did back then. I was playing it on the 3DS. A couple months ago. Oh no, wait, that was actually back in the summer, I think. On the 3DS, with that Sega collection on the 3DS, and I appreciate it more for what it is now, but I'm still not too into it. Speaking of the Genesis, there was just a great article up about Castlevania Bloodlines that Jeremy Parrish just published, which is kind of the lost, bastard child Castlevania game that doesn't get talked about as much because it was on the Genesis. Back then I only kind of vaguely knew about it, and we'll get to that eventually. That's funny. One of my friends, his kid did that to him a couple years ago. Just kind of deleted everything. I know somebody too that had that happen with their. I think it was their PS1 or their PS2. It was the memory card. She's gonna die. Let's just run. Their memory cards and I guess they yanked it out or something. You have to manually organize all this stuff too, which is really annoying. And this is Tella. A wicked bard tricked my daughter into running away. This is the guy that says the very famous "you spoony bard" line. Sage Tella join. So he's got Cure 2, which is helpful. You know, there's decent logic to this that now you're kind of, you've got someone who really needs you to buff them, and then you're given a character that can do that. So let's go Lit. Lit should work. Okay, Sarah, have a good night. We'll be back next week with some more podcasts. Next Wednesday is going to be Castlevania Dracula X on the Super Nintendo. And we'll have a cast on Monday as well. Stream. All right, see you, Sarah. We'll play for another 10-15 minutes, and then, yeah, I've got some stuff to do, too. Oh, you know what I should do, too? I should move everybody. So you can customize, too. You can make your battle speed faster or slower, your messages. I should make my window pretty dark. We should probably get that. Yeah, so Rydia's in the back, too, which means she'll get hit less. Lit one. And then let's have her use Lit one, too. I like the animation for them trying to cast. It's really cute. But speaking of Dracula X and Castlevania games, in October, and I think we're going to start doing this every October, we're going to do kind of Halloween-themed games. So we're going to do a bunch of Castlevania games that month. Probably Super Castlevania, because we haven't done that yet. And Haunted House, which is a Castlevania. And we'll do the reissue. PS. Got over the. So these are pikes, flying pikes. Oh, we gotta go right. I think it also jumped down from his perch. Joins too is he's got a lot of MP, so you can kind of rely. You can just kind of have Rydia sit back a little bit and not use up hers because she'll go through hers real quick. Yeah, there's definitely a logic to adding him to your. It just, for some reason, it's, very, or with another random battle. I've always found it to be like that. And Ether, oh, cool, an Ether, good. Ethers are kind of hard to come by in this game. A little bit. More pikes. Alright, whatever. We're gonna. When enemies just kind of keep wailing on Cecil and he doesn't really lose points much. He'll lose 1 or 2. Yeah, there's a place to save up here, I think. Yeah. Let's take a rest. We'll play till 9:30. A special field here will protect us from monsters. We can use our tent or cabin, and even save. Let's rest now. In my tent. Oh, he brought his own tent. Nice. I just looked outside. It is definitely still snowing. Fast asleep. Iridia is very powerful. At the end of the game, I just kept feeding her ethers and healing her and just let her go. Hustle and, to attack and heal and edge just sucks, so I would let him just die. He's annoying. The last time through this game, when I fought the end boss, it took me probably 4 or 5 tries to beat it, and because the first couple times he just wrecked me real fast, and Edge would die pretty quickly, And it was just like, whatever, I'm leaving him dead. It was easier to just leave him laying there and not have to worry about it. Let's go. It's convenient that the enemies, these allow you to. That should be for her, yes. Very nice. So there's a bunch of versions of this game that are out there. The best one is probably the one on the PSP that collects this and the Final Fantasy IV The After Years game that I've actually not played. I probably should. I own the PSP version, but I don't think I've ever loaded it. But that's probably the best version from what I've been told out there. The one on Steam and stuff like that, I think, is the PS1 version. It's not that great. Can you hear Puzzle walking in the kitchen? I can hear him on the floor. My new apartment's not gonna have carpets, so, which is good. I hate carpets so much. Yeah, the level showing sleep. I forget if sleep works well in this game. In Final Fantasy 1, I never found it to work very well. Yeah, that noise you hear in the background, that's Puzzle. Cave toads. With their tongues sticking out. Toads the other day, working on the script. And one of the things I mentioned in it is that I played that game a lot with a friend of mine who was really good at Battletoads, which was this insufferably hard game. And he was really, really good at it. That's a game that definitely had like this kind of moment where people were really into it. But it's hard. There's a couple stages in it that are just very difficult. Very impassable. More cures. I wish we could get some more ethers. More treasure chests. Oh, there's an ether. Nice. Good. Ooh, a lot of enemies. Alright, let's use Lit. And what's great about Lit 1 is it only uses 5. So you can, take out 3 of them. So even if, let's just say Rydia used it now, let's just let her go. And there goes one more. And we'll take out these water bugs. Using the rods doesn't really help. Yeah, these water bugs must have a lot of HP. There we go. Excellent. Reading the level. Cool. Another ether. Oh, there we go. Alright, 9:25. We'll play for like 5 more minutes. So yeah, zombies can't be hit by physical attacks, but if correctly, you can use I think that works. Yes. Because they're undead, so healing them harms them. What are hags? There's one. You know what? Let's run. Get on. You can run pretty easily in this game, at least in this version. We can go out from here. The monster is in the is Unity's tent. Oh. Let's just run away. I want to get into this. Yeah, you gotta fall down here. We'll do this boss and then we'll wrap up. Let's see, 17, 18, 17, 19, 17, 20. Okay. Cool. Surprise! Surprise! Yeah, so now if I wasn't streaming, I would, of course, righteously fight every one of these battles and grind and whatnot. But we don't have time for that. Yeah, here's the other stuff for Cecil. Yeah, armor. Yes. There we go. hold on like 10 seconds. I gotta pull up the blind for puzzle. Whoa, it is really snowing. Wow. Actually, I think it's sleeting. Jeez. And here comes the 8 tentacles. Yeah, it is. Wow, it is really snowing. Maybe we'll do a snow day stream tomorrow. She's just gotta check about, right? Hang on. Yeah, we'll definitely wrap up with this battle. People are starting to leave on the stream. And thanks to everybody who came by tonight. You know, we had a bunch of people in and out. That's great. I'm really having a lot of fun doing these streams. Almost done. I love the look on his face. The Octo Ma'am. Ma'am. Yeah, I don't think campus is going to be open tomorrow. It's really snowing. So I think that 12 o'clock opening is going to become closed. Come on. Come on. There we go, maybe? No. Run an MP. Yeah, this thing's got a lot of hit points. Now, in other versions of the game that are more of the hard type version, that's not this is the easy type one. You know, this battle's a little harder. I mean, this is, you're just grinding through this. Come on. There we go. Alright. So, 9:35. Let's wrap things up for tonight. hey, check out draftfields.net for 30-something retro gaming podcasts. We do streams Monday and Wednesday night. Mondays are new games normally, and Wednesdays are usually retro games. Next Monday, we will be doing Super Mega Baseball. In preparation for the Super Mega Baseball game going into beta right now. I think next week. I think the beta begins. Mega Baseball is fun. So we're gonna play that on Monday, and then on Wednesday we're gonna be a Dracula X. Run. With that at some point too, but we're gonna play some Dracula X next Wednesday. So thanks for coming by. New podcast out tomorrow on SimCity 2000. It's recorded. I just need to edit it tonight, and we'll get that out into the feed probably in the morning. And then next week there will be a brand new a long form episode on Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And then after that, there'll be Legacy of the Wizard. Not sure what's next after that. I'd have to look at the calendar. But thanks for coming by, as always, and talk soon.